Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today I am going to continue the article The Human Grounds of Compassion, or Is Positive Atheism an Oxymoron, which is written by Mr. Bill Cook. The theory of atheist morality. Having looked at the life of an atheist whose life revolved around compassion, I would like to conclude with a very brief summary of the theoretical foundations of atheist compassion. With no all-seeing, utterly perfect God to look over one shoulder, atheists find themselves part of a living, changing world that each must respond to in their own way. But once they adjust their sight to the new conditions, they see a wealth of resources there to help and inform them. The most significant of these resources is science. Work in genetics, evolutionary psychology, and related areas are opening up whole new fields of knowledge. So significant are these developments that people like Michael Ruse are able to say that our biological origins can and should be a starting point for philosophy today. 20 principal among these insights for our purposes is the existence within us all of hardwired moral imperatives, which can be grouped into 4 families: contempt, anger and disgust are other condemning imperatives, while gratitude and elevation are other praising. Shame, embarrassment, and guilt are self-conscious imperatives, and compassion stands alone as the only other suffering imperatives we all share. Now, how we manifest these imperatives and the relative weight we accord each of them differs radically among cultures, but we nonetheless share them all. Compassion, then, is not a quality bequeathed intact from a supernatural entity, nor is it some mystical essence that can be uncovered only after painful austerities. It is a quality we have evolved with, one formed in response to specific social needs on the ground. Religions, like all other systems of thought, have noted the importance of these imperatives and have developed theories, creeds, and rules dealing with them, but have misclassified them in a way that has set us on a wild goose chase lasting millennia. And along the way, religions have given all too full expression to the other condemning imperatives of contempt, anger, and disgust. With no supernatural prescriptions to adhere to, the atheist is well positioned to accord the imperative of compassion its rightful place. One is good to one's neighbor, not because some list of rules prescribes it or because one will secure a more desirable posthumous reward, but because it is the right thing to do. It is the surest means to ensure we can all rub along together. This is the core of what is known as reciprocal altruism, which in later moral language has been refashioned as the golden rule. The Indian humanist thinker V.P. Verma was groping toward a similar quality when he spoke of abhyam, or the state of fearlessness, a transcendence of fear of the other and not so much contempt, has been little interest in the variety of worldly pleasures. Gora, I would argue, possessed this quality, and his atheism was an essential component of it. His progressive passage from the autonomous I to the finality of the you and the universality of the they reveals the trajectory of atheist compassion. We are not speaking about some dreary abstraction, but of a life lived fully and well. Let me be clear that I am not saying that the atheist alone can be truly moral. Neither am I saying that atheist morality is necessarily superior or that rival systems are without value. The time for tribal tub-thumping of this sort is past. What I am claiming is that atheist morality has sound intellectual foundations and a noble record of practice and deserves to be treated as a valid participant in public discourse about morality as it is happening here, rather than as some other tasteless oxymoron as has so often been the case. The atheist has coherent reasons and motivations why our other condemning imperatives need be held in check, and why, from a standpoint of humility, we look to ameliorate the sufferings to others. And finally, we need to ask the question, does any of this matter? If the time for partisan trumpery is indeed past, why should I then devote this time to espousing the virtues of one particular approach? Here, we need to take note of the difference between claiming exclusive competence, which I have already rejected, and claiming equal validity. And with almost 1.3 million New Zealanders in the last census identifying themselves as having no religion, the time surely has arrived when this huge group of people should be taken into account. We can no longer ignore the elephant in the room. Related to this is the urgent task to free morality from the false perception that is inextricably linked with religion. In making this mistake, we risk hindering the development of the next George Soros, the next Fred Hollows, Michael Joseph Savage, or the next Gora. We need to wake up and not just smell the coffee of diversity, but enjoy its enriching secular taste, and the St. Andrew's Trust is to be congratulated on its contribution towards that end. And here ends our article on the human grounds of compassion, or is positivism an oxymoron, which is written by Mr. Bill Cook. We shall meet again in the next episode again with another article. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Samaram channels, which has crossed more than 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.